The Puppet Factory presents Help! My Best Friend is My Boss, starring Laura as accounts executive at the Puppet Bank of Singapore, Samantha as Laura's best friend and fellow colleague at PBS, Jasmine and Mimi as their colleagues.
Laura!
Immediately, Laura knew what Samantha meant. It was time for their daily lunch, a special time of the day dedicated to the sharing of thoughts, venting frustrations, and planning for Wednesday night outs. She wasted no time in packing up and proceeded to head out with Samantha.
I have loads to tell you. You won't believe what Patrick did today.
As they settled down at the usual window seat at the cafe, Laura started fumbling about in her red Armani exchange bag.
Hey, do you remember this?
Laura pulled out a faded photograph of Samantha wearing a clown costume during a Halloween party in senior year.
Oh my goodness, didn't I tell you to burn this?
As Samantha held the piece of memory in her hand, she couldn't help but reminisce about their university days. She had been roommates with Laura. They shared clothes, hung out, studied, and did crazy things together. After graduation, they applied to the same bank and ended up working in its accounts department. As colleagues, they worked well together and were identified as potential managers. They often went as a pair, so much so that they were nicknamed the Siamese twins by their co-workers. After a year, Samantha was promoted to become Laura's immediate boss. As a result, Samantha had a new office space, a spacious room with a spectacular view of the skyline.
Wow.
This was in sharp contrast to the cubicle next to Laura that she once occupied. Gone were the days when Laura could lean over just to chat with Samantha whenever she wanted. However, despite losing the rat race, Laura was still genuinely happy for her best friend.
Sam, I'm so glad you got promoted. I'm sure you do a really good job.
Thanks, your support really means a lot to me.
Samantha wasn't sure how to feel. Would her promotion come at the expense of her friendship with Laura? After all, Laura had been vying for this position from day one. On top of that, she was now accountable for Laura and had to scrutinize her work. Despite Samantha's nagging doubts, her friendship with Laura remained status quo. It was business as usual.
Executive Cafe?
Yes, okay.
However, back at the office, things were astir. Every time Samantha and Laura walked past, their co-workers would begin whispering amongst themselves.
Ayo. Ayo.
Sometimes, they threw dirty looks and sideward glances at the two friends. Samantha felt uncomfortable at this unwanted attention. She couldn't figure out why her co-workers were so hostile towards them. Later that day, Samantha overheard a conversation between her fellow colleagues, Jasmine and Mimi, while in the ladies' restroom. Little did they know, Samantha was just in the cubicle.
Samantha is always going for lunch with Laura. She's so outrightly biased towards her. Can't it be a little less obvious?
I know, right? We can't expect them to be objective towards her when it comes to the yearly evaluation. I mean, look at them. They're practically joined at the hip.
Upon hearing this, Samantha decided to keep her distance from Laura. She stopped inviting Laura out for lunch and started making plans with other people for Wednesday nights. She pondered to herself.
It's better for us both this way. I don't want Laura to have a hard time with our colleagues, and besides, any accusations of favoritism would severely undermine my credibility.
Soon, Laura started noticing the changes in her best friend. In an attempt to understand what was going on, she decided to initiate a heart-to-heart talk with Samantha over lunch.
Sam, shall we try the new salad stop today? It's new and I heard the salads are something to die for.
I think I'll just give you a miss. I have a lot of things to do. I'll just eat in.
Oh, I see. Do you want me to buy something for you then?
Nah, it's okay. I'm alright.
For the whole of next week, the same thing happened every single day.
Hey, I know you're busy, so shall we just grab a quick lunch from Subway downstairs?
No, it's okay. You can go ahead. I brought sandwiches today.
Gradually, Laura sensed that Samantha was keeping her distance as their relationship dynamics started to differ. She felt that Samantha did not open up to her as much. Moreover, Samantha rejected all her meal dates, claiming that she had more work duties to attend to. Instead, Samantha would eat takeaway meals and spend more time in her office to complete work. Laura was disappointed and confused, yet she did not know how to broach the subject to Samantha. She did not understand why Samantha was acting so coldly towards her. Did Samantha think she was too good for Laura now that she was promoted? They were best friends who could tell each other everything, weren't they? Laura then tried to fill the gap left by Samantha by trying to socialize with her other colleagues.
Hey, can I join you guys for lunch?
Maybe next time. Sorry, but we plan to have a quick lunch today. I don't think you should join us. Why don't you ask Samantha?
Dismayed, Laura had to find her own lunch.
I wonder what that Laura is trying to do. I bet she's spying on us. Who would want to eat lunch with her? Goodness knows that she will want to powtow to Samantha. That snitch.
In the office, co-workers would shush their conversations when they saw Laura around. Coupled with Samantha's distancing, Laura felt lonely and excluded in the office.
I can't stand this anymore!
This politics depressed Laura. She was making many mistakes and her work productivity was decreasing.
What's going on, Laura? This is the 4th time you're making the same mistake this week.
I'm sorry, boss. I'll go and change it immediately.
She continued making multiple errors in her work. Finally, Laura made a major mistake as she has miscalculated one of the company's major accounts.
My God, how could Laura have made such a drastic mistake? Isn't she usually very meticulous? I guess I really need to talk to her.
Because Samantha and Laura were friends, Samantha did not want to criticize Laura in front of everyone and chose to talk to her one-on-one instead.
What's wrong, Laura? How could you have made such a big mistake? You do know that this account is very important to the company, don't you?
I can't stand this anymore! First, you're avoiding me for no reason. Then everyone else treats me like I'm some disease. I have no friends at work. What happened to the good old days? Now I just dread coming to work every single day.
I'm really sorry, Laura. I only distanced myself from you because I didn't want to put you in a difficult position. I didn't want our colleagues to feel that you were being favored because you're my best friend. I didn't really know what's the right thing to do.
To study the situation, Samantha decided that she would highlight Laura's mistake at the next general meeting.
Laura, this is a very big mistake that you have made. I hope that no one else will make the same mistake ever again. It's fortunate that we noticed it early, otherwise it would have cost the company a bomb. Don't ever do it again, Laura. The next time, your job is on the line.
All the co-workers in the room were shocked to hear Samantha's harsh criticism of Laura.
I understand, Samantha. I know my work hasn't been up to standard. I'll buck up.
Laura said solemnly. She accepted Samantha's open criticism and harbored no hard feelings towards Samantha. She understood that Samantha was only doing her job. During lunch, Jasmine approached Laura.
Hey, are you feeling alright? Samantha was totally going overboard just now.
I deserved it.
Said Laura, still visibly disappointed.
Cheer up, alright? Join us for lunch. We're going to the new salad place.
Jasmine extended an arm to Laura. The co-workers realized that they had the wrong impression all along. Samantha treated everyone fairly. As for the friendship between Laura and Samantha, both of them talked it out and decided to limit their interactions to after office hours and weekends. Despite certain roadblocks, it is still possible to be best friends with your boss after all.
Tell